Imagine you're sitting down to a cozy lunch at home and you're thinking about what to eat that's both nourishing and satisfying. It's easy to feel you've heard every piece of nutrition advice under the sun, especially once you've reached your 80s. But there's one humble pantry item that's often overlooked, even though it has some surprisingly powerful benefits for older adults: lentils. This simple legume, a staple in cuisines around the world, can play a unique role in supporting energy, digestion, and overall vitality. Many seniors today face the challenge of maintaining muscle strength, stable energy levels, and digestive comfort. These issues can impact everything from taking a pleasant afternoon stroll to sleeping well at night. If you've ever found yourself feeling sluggish after a meal, concerned about your balance, or worried that you're not getting enough key nutrients, you're not alone. Addressing these concerns is not about chasing perfection. It's about enjoying life on your own terms, whether that means gardening without discomfort or feeling confident as you move around the kitchen. There's good reason to pay close attention to the foods you choose at this stage of life. Our bodies have different nutrient requirements in our 80s than they did just a couple of decades ago. Protein, for instance, becomes more critical to help preserve muscle mass, while certain vitamins and minerals support bone density and heart health. Digestion can also be trickier as we age, making fiber an important ally. That's where lentils come in. By exploring how lentils can be prepared and incorporated into everyday meals, seniors can potentially open the door to better energy, more comfortable digestion, and a gentle boost in their overall nutritional profile. When you discover how versatile and beneficial lentils can be, you might just transform your daily routine in a way that supports both independence and enjoyment. You'll soon see how three surprisingly simple elements, protein content, hearty fiber, and essential micronutrients, can help you face common aging challenges head-on. In the process, you may find that your grocery list becomes simpler, your meal prep more affordable, and your enthusiasm for food rekindled. If you've ever wondered whether a small change in your diet can make a tangible difference in how you feel, this conversation is for you. Together, we'll challenge long-held assumptions about senior-friendly foods, clear up misconceptions, and offer specific strategies to incorporate lentils into your meals in ways that align with your personal tastes and mobility levels. Before we dive in, it's important to note that everything shared here is grounded in widely recognized principles of balanced nutrition. As always, it's wise to discuss any dietary changes with a healthcare provider or registered dietitian, especially if you're managing a chronic condition or taking multiple medications. That said, I'm excited to introduce you to some fresh perspectives that may spark a sense of curiosity about lentils. By the end, my hope is that you'll feel empowered to experiment with a simple, cost-effective food that may surprise you with its benefits. As you listen, consider one question. What small step can you take this week to explore the power of lentils in your own kitchen? Let's look at the first aspect of lentils that might upend your expectations. You might have heard people say that once you are in your 80s, you don't need much protein or that it's too late to make a real difference in muscle strength. This belief stems from the idea that muscle loss is inevitable and that seniors should focus solely on other factors like gentle mobility. But consider Frank, who recently turned 85. For decades, Frank believed that large amounts of protein were only for bodybuilders. Though he loved his daily walks, he noticed his stamina and leg strength declining year after year. He assumed that was a natural part of getting older. Then during a routine checkup, a nutrition counselor suggested that Frank try adding a bit more plant-based protein to his meals, specifically lentils. At first, Frank was skeptical. How could a bowl of lentil soup make a significant impact compared to the meat and potatoes he'd always favored? But with an open mind, he started slow. A few times a week, he replaced some of his meat with a half cup of cooked lentils. Over a few months, Frank's energy levels improved. He found that by late afternoon, he wasn't as fatigued, and he even felt stronger doing simple chores around the house. While he's not running marathons, the difference was enough that he began sharing his experience with friends. The new perspective here is that seniors in their 80s still benefit from quality protein sources, and lentils are an especially gentle and affordable way to get that boost. Protein is crucial for muscle repair, helping maintain mobility and balance. The amino acids in lentils can also support immune function, which becomes increasingly important with age. Of course, it's not a magical cure-all. Frank still experiences the normal ups and downs of aging, but even moderate increases in plant-based protein made a tangible difference in his daily life. If you'd like to try this for yourself, start by adding a small serving, about half a cup of cooked lentils to one meal a day. You might mix them into a broth-based soup or toss them into a salad with leafy greens. If you prefer a heartier dish, lentils can be seasoned with herbs or cooked down into a stew with vegetables. Some seniors like to blend them into a puree as a sauce base. You don't have to abandon other protein sources you enjoy. Instead, think of lentils as a simple addition that can complement your meals. Over time, you may notice changes like improved energy, less muscle soreness, or simply a feeling of being more satisfied after you eat. Keep in mind that different people have different protein needs, so if you have questions about specific amounts, consult your healthcare provider, and watch out for excessive portion sizes. Lentils, while healthy, should be balanced with other nutrients and plenty of fluids to ease digestion. If your interest is piqued, leave a comment or share your thoughts with a friend. After all, sometimes the best inspiration comes from talking with others who've tried it. Let's move on to the next point, the surprising role of fiber in promoting comfortable digestion and helping maintain stable blood sugar levels. There's a popular notion that fiber matters mostly when you're younger or dealing with specific digestive issues, but older adults can benefit tremendously from the consistent intake of dietary fiber. You might have been told to take it easy on certain fibrous foods to avoid stomach upset. That can lead to avoiding beans and legumes altogether. However, consider Carol, age 82, who had long struggled with periodic constipation and occasional blood sugar spikes. She was wary of lentils because she feared they'd cause bloating. Yet her doctor suggested she try a small portion of lentils once every few days to see if her digestive system would adjust. Carol introduced a simple lentil salad with chopped tomatoes and cucumbers, along with a light vinaigrette. The first week was an adjustment. She experienced mild discomfort and worried she'd made a mistake. But she stayed patient, hydrated more carefully, and monitored her portions. By the second week, she noticed a more regular bowel pattern and felt lighter after meals. More unexpectedly, her blood sugar readings were steadier, a change she confirmed with her routine self-checks. Research often points to the low glycemic index of lentils, meaning they don't cause sudden spikes in blood sugar. That's crucial for older adults who need to manage energy levels and possibly diabetes or prediabetes. The misconception that fiber equals stomach trouble often leads seniors to miss out on a protective dietary element. Fiber helps regulate digestion, supports a healthy gut microbiome, and may even assist in managing cholesterol levels. Lentils, in particular, combine fiber with a range of vitamins and minerals, offering a nutritional 1-2 punch. When you increase your fiber intake slowly and drink enough water, you give your digestive system time to adapt. Carol's story shows that a cautious, gradual approach can make a difference without causing undue discomfort. To incorporate lentils for these benefits, try pairing them with easily digestible foods. A simple lentil soup with well-cooked vegetables, a bit of broth, and gentle spices can be easier on the system than a heavy chili. Over time, you might diversify by adding lentils to soft-cooked rice, or blending them into a lightly seasoned dip that you can spread on whole grain crackers. The key is to listen to your body and adjust the portion sizes. If you need an engagement prompt, think about the last time you experimented with a new ingredient. How did you introduce it into your routine, and what were the results? Share your experience if you're comfortable. Your insights might help someone else who's considering lentils for the first time. Now let's see how lentils can contribute to heart health in a way that many seniors find surprisingly reassuring. You've likely heard the old saying that a healthy heart is the cornerstone of a long life. Many older adults worry about heart disease and believe they have to resort to complex, restrictive diets to support heart function, yet countless diet changes can feel overwhelming. This is where lentils come in as a manageable, straightforward option that might lend a helping hand to your cardiovascular well-being. One reason is that lentils are a source of potassium and magnesium, two minerals associated with healthy blood pressure regulation. Some seniors assume that lowering blood pressure through diet means giving up flavor or comfort, but that's not necessarily the case. Take Robert, age 86, who has mild hypertension. He was told to reduce his salt intake but found himself struggling to flavor his foods in a satisfying way. His granddaughter, who loves cooking, encouraged him to try a lentil curry dish made with garlic, onions, tomatoes, and a variety of spices. By focusing on herbs and spices that add richness, like cumin, coriander, or even a hint of ginger, Robert found he didn't miss the salt shaker nearly as much as he expected. Over a couple of months, his doctor noted small but meaningful improvements in his blood pressure. While no single food is a magic bullet, lentils appeared to be part of a positive shift in Robert's overall diet. What's behind these benefits? Lentils contain nutrients that support arterial health and help the body manage fluid balance. The combination of potassium, magnesium, and fiber may also indirectly help maintain healthy cholesterol levels. For seniors worried about medication interactions, it's always best to keep your healthcare team informed about any dietary changes. But because lentils are a whole food, rather than a supplement, they typically blend well with medical guidance on heart-healthy eating. That said, always check the sodium content of any canned lentils you might buy. Opting for low sodium or rinsing them thoroughly can help you keep total salt intake in check. If you want to bring lentils into your heart health strategy, try adding them to a vegetable-based dish that you already enjoy. This might be a tomato stew, a spinach sauté, or even a hearty soup with carrots and celery. Experiment with herbs like basil, oregano, or thyme to find flavor profiles that delight your palate. You may discover that you can reduce added salt by leveraging the natural flavors of slow-cooked onions or roasted garlic. If you have a favorite heart-healthy recipe, see if you can introduce lentils as a side dish or a protein booster. Each small substitution can add up over time. Before moving on, it's worth asking yourself, how might a single change, introduced gradually, affect your overall routine? Sometimes we get stuck thinking in all or nothing terms, either a total diet overhaul or no change at all. But focusing on one ingredient at a time might be more sustainable. If you've been thinking about improving your heart health, consider whether lentils could be a small yet meaningful step in that journey. Next, let's look at how lentils can offer versatility in preparation, making them an excellent option for seniors with varying cooking abilities or taste preferences. There's a common misconception that cooking with legumes is too time-consuming or that you need to be a gourmet chef to make them taste good. This assumption often keeps older adults from experimenting with foods like lentils, worried that the effort might be too large or the outcome too bland. Yet Rita, 83, discovered that cooking lentils could actually be simpler than many other dishes. She lives on her own and has arthritis in her hands, so she prefers not to chop lots of ingredients every day. Initially, the idea of dealing with dried beans seemed daunting, but when her grandson showed her how to use a slow cooker, it changed everything. Rita began by placing rinsed lentils in the slow cooker, along with some vegetables she could pre-chop on a weekend, carrots, onions, and celery, and a few cups of water or low-sodium broth. She could set the slow cooker in the morning, then go about her day. By lunchtime or dinner, she had a warm, nourishing meal waiting. Because lentils come in varieties like green, brown, red, and even black, each type can yield a slightly different texture and flavor. She also found that canned lentils, rinsed well, served as a quick fix on days when she didn't want to fuss with a pot on the stove. Versatility matters because taste can change as we age, and certain foods might not sit well with everyone. Lentils can be adapted to almost any cuisine, from Italian-style soups with tomatoes and basil to Indian-inspired dishes with turmeric and cumin, or even a simple lentil mash seasoned with salt-free herb blends. If you're dealing with limited mobility or strength, you can buy pre-cut vegetables or rely on a food processor. Many grocery stores even offer frozen, pre-chopped onions and peppers, letting you skip the slicing. If chewing is a concern, lentils can be easily pureed into a smooth consistency. This helps individuals who might need softer textures without compromising nutritional value. To get started, consider making a large batch of lentils at the beginning of the week. You can store portions in small containers so they're ready to be warmed up or mixed into something else, like a tortilla wrap or a side dish. This batch cooking approach can reduce the effort needed on a daily basis. If you're someone who enjoys variety, keep a few different spice blends on hand, Italian herbs, curry mixes, or even lemon pepper. Each day you can change the flavor profile of your lentils with minimal effort. Does that sound more manageable than you initially thought? Sometimes the real key to healthy eating in our 80s is having a flexible system in place, one that respects energy levels and physical comfort. Now, to round out our exploration, let's talk about cost effectiveness and how lentils can support not just health, but also a sense of financial well-being. A lot of seniors assume that healthier foods automatically mean higher grocery bills. With fixed incomes, it's natural to be cautious about trying new ingredients if you think they're expensive or faddish. Lentils, however, are often an exception to that rule. Whether you buy them dried in bulk or in canned form, they're usually more affordable than meat, fish, or specialty health foods. A bag of dried lentils can stretch into several meals, which can ease the pressure on your grocery budget. This can be especially important for individuals who want to maintain a balanced diet without sacrificing too much variety or flavor. Ken, who is 87, decided to try lentils after comparing the cost of different proteins at his local store. He noticed that a pound of lentils cost far less than a similar amount of chicken or beef. At first, Ken worried this would mean bland, repetitive meals. But he found that by rotating different types of lentils and adding simple, low-cost seasonings, like onions, garlic, dried chili flakes, he could make flavorful meals all week long. Plus, he saved enough on groceries to occasionally indulge in fresh produce or a piece of fish when he wanted. Financial stress can weigh heavily on anyone, but it can be particularly challenging in the later years. By finding ways to stretch your dollar without compromising nutrition, you can reduce anxiety about meal planning, and that has emotional benefits too. Feeling more at ease about finances can lead to a more relaxed relationship with food, making each meal feel like a positive experience rather than a stressful obligation. Think about the relief that comes from knowing you always have a nutritious ingredient on hand. If you keep a few bags of lentils in your pantry, you're never more than a few steps away from a meal that nourishes both body and mind. How do you see lentils fitting into your monthly budget or meal plan? Are there ways you might shift spending on more expensive items to these simpler, more versatile legumes? Reflect on this the next time you make a grocery list. Sometimes discovering an affordable option that also supports your health can reinvigorate your overall approach to eating. As we've seen, lentils can play a role in supporting your protein needs, promoting healthier digestion, contributing to cardiovascular well-being, offering incredible versatility, and saving money at the same time. The best part is that none of these shifts require a drastic lifestyle change. Small incremental steps can add up to noticeable results over time. It's worth considering if you've been feeling a bit stuck in your routine or worried about whether you can still make meaningful nutritional changes in your 80s. Lentils present a gentle, accessible way to explore something new without feeling overwhelmed. When we think about the journey of aging, it's easy to focus on what we can't do anymore. But by experimenting with a single ingredient, like lentils, you might surprise yourself with renewed energy and satisfaction at the dinner table. This isn't about promising miracle cures or guarantees. It's about honoring your body's changing needs and acknowledging that small dietary adjustments can be empowering. If you're ready to explore new ways to nourish yourself, consider picking up a bag of lentils on your next grocery trip. Try starting with just one meal this week. Add a half cup of lentils to a dish you already know and love. Maybe a warm bowl of vegetable soup or a simple salad with a tangy dressing. After you give it a taste, you might decide to try a new spice blend or cooking method. If you find a combination that truly delights you, share that idea with someone else who might also benefit. For those feeling motivated, the next level could be batch cooking different varieties of lentils to keep on hand throughout the week. If mobility or cooking ability is limited, consider using a slow cooker, an instant pot, or even asking a family member or friend for a bit of help in the kitchen. It's natural to feel uncertain about a dietary change, especially if you've encountered conflicting health advice over the years. But focusing on whole foods like lentils can be a gentler approach that aligns well with many standard medical guidelines for senior nutrition. Of course, always keep your healthcare team in the loop about any changes, especially if you're managing chronic conditions. Yet let this moment be your gentle nudge to try something that could enrich your dining experience and your day-to-day life. You have control over what lands on your plate, and you have the wisdom of your years to guide you in making choices that truly benefit your well-being. It might seem like just another bean, but the potential benefits of lentils can be more far-reaching than you might expect. As you move forward, consider sharing your journey with friends or neighbors who might also be curious. Building a small community around healthier eating can make the process more enjoyable, turning it from a solitary effort into a shared adventure. Thank you for taking the time to learn about lentils and their unexpected benefits. If you found something here that resonates with you, I encourage you to put it into action. Whether it's trying a new recipe, talking to your doctor about protein intake, or simply stocking up on this humble yet versatile legume. Change doesn't have to be dramatic to be meaningful. Even if you only swap out one meal a week, that small shift can accumulate and become part of a larger pattern of well-being. Whether you decide to comment, share this information with a loved one, or dive headfirst into lentil recipes, the choice is yours. You've reached a stage of life where your decisions are guided by both experience and the desire to continue living fully. And that, more than anything, is what makes you powerful in the face of any new endeavor, be it a new hobby or a new dish in your kitchen. Embrace that power and see where these simple, surprising lentils might take you next.